for joining us for another episode of the Lockbox, brought to you by the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team in Arizona, and full-time resident of Cave Creek. We love Cave Creek, Arizona, and today we have Trinity Wilson, who is here with us, and she is running for your local school board for Cave Creek Unified School District. Trinity, great to have you.
Thank you.
So, hey, you just moved here.
Yes, we moved here about a year and a half ago from Denver. Not too sure if we outgrew Denver or Denver outgrew us, but we were looking for a smaller community. We were looking for something eclectic. We wanted great schools, of course. But we weren't sure about it being too hot, but
it gets warm and stuff.
But that's why the foothills kind of interest my husband and myself. I grew up in Lake Tahoe, so big trees and rolling hills have always been my thing. So I guess I substituted pine trees for sorroros, but that's
no. Well, Cave Creek's a great place. I mean,
yeah.
So being a native out here, we do quite a bit of stuff up here. We rode our horses through here, so it's kind of far enough out of town, but close enough in. So, what possessed you to want to get involved with the school board? I mean, let's face it. You have to get signatures to get on a ballot.
Yeah.
You work a full-time job for free.
Yeah.
It's probably a thankless job.
Yeah.
and you have to deal with 50 million different personalities. But with that said, there's some really great people up here.
Oh, right. So, yeah. I mean, first of all, the one thing I really have fell in love with about the community, especially after the fires, is how everybody pulls together here. Everybody has each other's back. You can just the solidarity is just amazing. You just don't find that in every town. So the support network that we have here, I also want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the community in that same fashion. And so I have the time on my hands right now that I can give back to the community and to the school and to the teachers and to the students, most of all, to help better the schools. And that way our kids will prosper through education, and our community will also prosper through us having the best district in the state. And so that being said, we own our house here in Cave Creek. Sure. I'd like to see our house prices go up. And
absolutely.
So.
Well, and the schools actually have a direct effect on the community and housing prices, which is important for everyone to know. So being part of the school board, they always get these little groups. You seem to have kind of a kid first policy.
I do, yes. So I don't want to get into any of the politics of this, of the school board. I just want to keep our focus forward, and that is our children and supporting our teachers. I'm not scared to stand up to a superintendent or to anybody for that matter. I am someone that works well with others. So having 5 people on a school board, I feel that you all need to work together so that you can better the system. And I'm not sure if that's happening right now. And I feel that if we could find the 5 right people to serve the board and this community, then we can make the changes and the improvements to the district that will thrive.
Well, and Cave Creek is one of the top districts in the state. There's no doubt about that. And about expanding the curriculum, they have their state rules. Mm-hmm. Would you like to see it kind of go beyond that, where you go to, of course, what the state requires for the curriculum, but as a school board member, would you like to kind of maybe push it and make it even better?
Oh, absolutely. There's every child has different levels of learning. And I see that in my own 2 children, different styles of learning, and any sort of support we can give to the families and different options of education and styles of learning, I think that can only improve for our system, our current system.
So do you feel as a school board member that you have a pretty good grasp on the different types of kids? I mean, there's kids with special needs.
Oh yeah.
So there's you have your overachievers, underachievers,
Oh yeah.
and each school offers something different with the STEM program and stuff like that.
Oh,
Do you feel
absolutely.
that you have a pretty good grasp, or are you open to listen to the variety of parents to help bring in new programs?
Well, I think that we should always listen to the parents. I think we should. I mean, right now, I don't think the parents are being listened to enough. To be honest
Sure.
with you, I feel that if the district could be more transparent with the community and with the parents and allow more input from us to them, we can grow further and allow our children to have more options.
One of the things we kind of discussed, which is the teachers are very important. And I think many of the parents feel like the teachers should be able to come forward if there's an issue, whether it's with staff, kids, without having any sort of.
That's a sore subject for me. That's part of the reason why I did get involved, because we had our preschool teacher walked off campus last year after 30 years of tenure. One of the most amazing teachers I've ever been in contact with. My children adore her, and she had no support, and she was harassed. And
did she not have support from the community or the teachers?
No, she had all the support from the community, and she wasn't allowed to have the support from the teachers because she was forced to sign a disclosure. So she didn't have that support from her peers because they didn't know what was going on. And I don't feel that she had the option or the availability to stand up for herself, and I don't think any of the teachers really have that support, and I don't think that the district should manage their teachers by scare tactics.
Sure. So as a board member, when you get elected, that would be one of your items, is to make sure that teachers have kind of I hate to use the word safe space.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
kind of a place where they can go without.
Absolutely, they should be secure in their jobs, and we want to keep our teachers, our tenured teachers, on campus. That's the whole point.
Well, and that brings up another good point, and Cave Creek, although we got great teachers, they are significantly underpaid compared to some of the other communities.
Yes.
What do you think you can do as a board member and help other board members to keep these teachers engaged, knowing they're making less money than another district?
So that's a good question, and I mean, there is no right answer on how to scramble up more funding for all the things that we need. But our first step has to be transparency for funds and where all the funds are, and an audit needs to happen. And if we can have that happen, then we can start allocating the funds to, hopefully more funds, to the teachers and to our school programs as needed. And I do believe they're underpaid. And especially, I think everybody understands that now more than ever, that we rely on our teachers and we want them to stay in school. We want them to teach our children. We want them to feel safe in school, not only health-wise, but also not being harassed.
Sure.
We want to nurture our teachers' safe space, as you said, and also support them in their classroom every day, and listen to them as well as far as what would make them feel safe.
Well, and being a member of the community, and our kids have went to the schools from kindergarten up, and we have one that's getting ready to go into preschool. One thing that's great is there's parents that are so active inside the classrooms, and that's what makes Cave Creek phenomenal.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. It's really, I mean, last year, Mrs. Taylor's class, crew was in Mrs. Taylor's class at Black Mountain, and I, having Stone, and being new to the community as well, I had my hands full with work, but I was able to watch and participate in class somewhat, and the amount of support that Mrs. Taylor got from the other families was great, and the kids liked having them in their class, so when I would join class for crew, it was always his best day,
No,
so
absolutely.
I think we appreciate to be able to go into classrooms and participate as well as.
Well, and that's one thing that makes the Cave Creek community and the
Mhm.
school district fantastic. And
Yeah.
the parents, the families, and the teachers. Remember, when we were growing up, how everyone, you'd see the teacher in the store, like, oh, there's Mrs. So-and-so.
Yeah.
And so Cave Creek has that kind of
Yeah.
feeling. So as a school board member, you want to make sure that you keep that unity with the
Yeah.
teachers connected to the parents.
Well, I would hope that. I think that for the kids, when the kids are at home, you have that family unit, and then when you're at school, you also want to have a family unit. It's your school family, and then there's also the teacher family, where the teachers have their unit and they can rely on each other, and all together, I think that creates a really good positive, a positive outcome, positive energy for your everyday classroom environment, and that's one thing one issue I have to really project to you is that, first and foremost, positivity on the board needs to happen as well, and there's been a lot of negativity, not necessarily on the board, but in the community and online, and that needs to stop.
Sure.
And what needs to happen is we need to start we're not going to get anywhere with any negative comments and negativity, either online or in person. The only way we're going to move forward and change this situation into a positive situation is by being positive and saying positive things to each other and supportive of each other.
And transparency.
Absolutely. I mean, that's after what happened with our teacher last year. I think what upset most families was that we didn't get any information about what was going on in our classroom. She was just gone one day. 3 weeks later, there was still no information given to us.
So basically, you're saying there's absolutely no room for politics when you're doing schools.
No.
Kids first.
Kids first. I mean, it affected our lives. It affected Stone's life. He was not a happy camper.
No, I hear you.
Our family was not a happy camper. Everybody, and it could have been handled so differently. So I just hope that in the future, transparency, positivity, communication with the community. I think the community needs to be informed of all the transactions and going-ons. We just need to stick together as board members.
Oh, that's great.
And move forward.
Well, and so everybody, this is Trinity Wilson. So you actually have to go out and vote because you have to get on the ballot. So if you're in the Cave Creek School District, you'll see her on the ballot. Why don't you tell people your name, make sure they vote for you, give them a plug for you.
So I'm Trinity Wilson, and I live in Cave Creek. I have 2 kids, 8 and 5. I hope that you know that I would fight to the death for this community, and I very much appreciate all that you have given back to me, and thank you for giving me such a wonderful place to live. We couldn't be happier. Thank you.
November 3rd is voting date. Early voting starts here in a couple weeks. This is Trinity Wilson. I'm Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.